Alright guys, just want to do a quick video on the ELK, or the emergency lane keep assist, or the lane keep assist functions, which obviously cause a lot of contention and a lot of negative input from people, because it can be, a bit dodgy, not dodgy, but a bit intrusive when you're driving, a bit too aggressive. But what I've done is I've found the perfect setting for it, so keep watching the video. Alright, so what I found is, obviously, if you drag down the dashboard, this is on the Ultra Petrol, not the Hybrid Edition. The Hybrid Edition has a little bit different display, and I'll do a video about that, about how to tune those settings in an upcoming video. But for now, I just want to show on the Ultra Petrol is that you actually have this menu here that you can drag down, and then here you've got lane assist, lane keep assist. Let me just start the car quickly. Okay, so obviously this you can turn it on, turn it off, and same with emergency lane keep assist, emergency lane keeping. Yeah, so you can turn that on and off. So what I do is I leave that off, because that is the one that's quite aggressive, and sort of pulls the steering wheel a bit. And then you've got lane assist. So I'm going to go into the settings here. I just hold the button in here. Right, so here you've got the driver intelligence settings. So you've got lane assist here, function on and off, so you can turn it on and off. So I like to put it on, and then you've got assist type, and here you've got what is this? This is just a warning. Yeah, so I've got it on the warning setting, which means that all it does is actually just vibrates the steering wheel when you're drifting across lanes. So it's actually quite cool. So it doesn't pull the steering wheel, but it'll alert you to when you are actually drifting over the lanes. Now, the thing with these, and any car that you drive with these safety features, is that if you are driving and you tend to cross lanes without indicating, sometimes you just, as you're taking a corner, you go across the yellow, or you just generally drive a little bit loose on the road, in other words, you're not staying 100% in the middle of the lane, then all these systems, whether it's this car, any car, they're all going to start to ping you and to help you keep the car in the right lane. But anyway, so if you don't do that and you use your indicator all the time, if you are crossing lanes, things like that, or the yellow line or the dotted line, then it won't irritate you. But what I do is I just leave this on, so it basically just sort of gently vibrates the steering wheel, and that's enough of a safety feature for me, that it's not going to be too intrusive, but also a little bit of a safety feature. So you're not completely disabling the feature, which is part of the car's safety. I keep saying safety features too many times, but it's basically part of the car's features, and you don't want to completely turn it off. But in the South African edition, specifically, I know in Australia that in order to keep the NCAP rating, I think it has to be on permanently, unless every time you get in the car, you have to switch it off if you want it off, and then when you get back into the car, you turn the car off and on again, then you have to go back to the settings and turn it off. In South Africa, we can actually turn it off completely. I like to put it on warning, and then obviously emergency lane keep assisting I keep off, and then smart dodge I keep on warning mode. I keep it on vibrate as well, and then sensitivity I keep on standard. And then these other safety features are pretty cool, where you've got side assist system, so blind spot monitoring, very nice feature. Door open warning, so in other words, if you parked on the side of the road, or somewhere where there are these cars coming up on the side of you, or up the road behind you, then as soon as you try and open the door, your door open warning is going to beep, and it's going to tell you there's a car approaching. And then obviously, it's a cool safety feature. Rear crash warning, so if someone is driving behind you and they're not braking sufficiently, then obviously the radar is going to pick that up, and then warn you. Rear cross traffic alert, that's cool as well, where if you're like reversing out of a parking spot and someone is just driving past you as you're trying to reverse. It kind of sees around a corner where you wouldn't be able to see, and then it'll actually warn you. And then if you are reversing, continue reversing, and a car is approaching, or a vehicle for that matter is approaching towards you, it's going to automatically brake the car. Now that is quite jarring because it'll beep beep beep, and then if you don't do anything about it, it's literally going to hit on the anchors. The car will immediately stop, but it makes like a grinding burry sound. I don't know how to describe it, but basically that's the servo motors on the brake calipers that are instantly activating, which is stopping the car. So yeah, just listen to your warnings, and if you see on the screen you'll see a vehicle approaching while you're trying to reverse, just stop. Don't, because it's detecting that you're going to have a collision potentially with this car. So just stop, wait until the car goes past, and then continue reversing out. Traffic information is cool. This stuff works very well. Traffic sign recognition, which is your speed warning. It works very, very well. Even if there's a temporary roadworks and there's a sign up and it says 60 or whatever, it's gonna alert you. I like that feature. It helps you, or prevents you, well, helps prevent from getting speeding fines, because if you're going, say, down the M5 or wherever, and they've got these cameras there, and that's an 80 speed limit, it's gonna basically flash on the dashboard over here. I'm gonna flash on the dashboard. Oh wait, let me get there. It's gonna flash over there, that sign there, and it's going to tell you what your speed is, obviously, and it's going to flash and say, well, you're exceeding the speed. So it helps you to stay within that. And then you can obviously set the over sensitivity. So if you're going like in an 80 zone and you want to go maybe 86, then you can go with 86 without it warning you. That's what I set to that. Yeah, so that's all I wanted to show in terms of the optimal settings for okay, let's get out of that. The optimal settings for the emergency or the lane keep assisting in the Tank 300. I find that's the best setting. I don't really like it pulling on the steering wheel. Yeah, but hope this video is helpful to you guys, and I'll do a video on the HEV because it might be a little bit different in the next video coming up. Thanks for watching. Cheers.